In the name of Allah, my dear students, today we will discuss the fourth chapter and the fourth lecture for this chapter. It is contribution of agriculture to the national economy, employment and output. I'm the host, your teacher Rubina Bande, and let us start our today's lecture. It is what is the role of agriculture in Indian economy? As we all know, this agriculture is a main sector of Indian economy, or we can say this is the backbone of Indian economy. Majority of the people, as it reached to even 60% of the people are directly and indirectly engaged with the agricultural activities. As this agriculture, it has a share in national income. It provides largest employment to the people, or it is the largest employment providing sector, and it has a contribution to capital formation. Okay, it provides the surplus food to the expanding population. As we know, population is expanding, it is growing with a rapid speed. It provides raw material to industries also, as we have cotton in and textile industry, we have jute industry, we have rubber industry, etc. It has importance in international trade also, as we export many things like these spices is the best example for this. Now we will discuss one by one the role of agriculture in Indian economy. Firstly, it has a share in national income. Okay, as we know, as we have the term GDP, gross domestic product. Gross domestic product, as we all know, is the sum of monetary value of all the finishing goods and services produced within the country during a financial year. This monetary value, or the sum total of the these economy, okay, from different sectors that we are producing, like we have agriculture, we have industry, we have services sector, and this GDP is a measure of economy. Okay, the contribution here for GDP is in that, as in 1951, agriculture contributed 55.11% in the GDP, and then in 2015 and 16 it is only 15.35%. That means there is a decline, a huge decline, or rapid decline, because of the rapid development of industrial and services sector in India. The contribution for agriculture has been continuously falling. Okay, from 55.1% to 37%, and then to 15%. Okay, but agriculture still continues to be the main sector. Okay, why? Because it provides livelihood to a majority of the population. Let us discuss the second point, as this agriculture has a largest employment providing, this is the largest employment providing sector. Agriculture engages or employs majority of the population of India. This agriculture directly provides, as we know, 55, I told you that about 60% approximately, but it is 55.60% of the Indian population is directly involved with agriculture. It also, this agriculture supplies raw material to the industry. As we discussed, cotton industry, cotton and textile industry gets its raw material from the this agriculture. Rubber industry, sugarcane industry, all gets its raw material from the Indian agriculture, and many people are also engaged with its allied activities, or the activities related to the agriculture, like we do this animal husbandry, we rear sheep, cattle, etc. and we are doing fishing, farming, forestry. These allied activities are also provided by the agriculture. This agriculture is the source of income for majority of the farmers. In 1951, 69% of the working population was engaged in agriculture, and this percentage fell to 66.9% in 1991 and to 56% in 2001. However, with the rapid increase in population, the absolute number of the people engaged in agriculture has become extremely large. I will inshallah ta'ala try to show you by a bar graph where you can understand it very well, that this decline in agriculture. Okay, now the third role, that agriculture provides food surplus to the expanding population. Population is growing day by day, it is increasing with a tremendous rate, and on this agriculture is providing surplus food for the surplus or the for the expanding population. Oh, okay. Because of the heavy pressure on population in labor surplus economics like India, and its rapid increase the demand for food increases at a fast rate. Okay, this is very much obvious that when population increases, the demand for the food will be increased. Therefore, unless agriculture is able to continuously increase its surplus of food grains, a crisis is likely to emerge. Exports foresee that by the end of 11th five-year plan, the demand for food grains is expected to increase to 280.6. Star demand would require 2% growth per annum. The challenge facing the country is clear, as during the last 10 years the food grains have been growing at a meager 0.48%. That means India has to do the for example, a land, one this canal of land, 1 acre of land for example, was giving us a produce which was enough for example 10 families in a village. But now the families are growing from 10 to 20, and the produce should also double, it should be doubled to overcome the needs of the this expanding population. So the modern inputs, modern technology should be used to increase the productivity of the land also. The fourth point will be here, contribution to capital formation. This capital formation, as we all know, this is the part of country's current output and import which is not consumed or exported during the accounting period, but it is set aside as an addition to its stock of capital goods. That means when the capital formation is increased, when the capital formation is high, the economic development will be achieved, or it would be high. That means there is a general agreement on the importance of capital formation in economic development. Unless the rate of capital formation increases to a sufficient high degree, economic development cannot be achieved. Agriculture can play a big role in pushing the capital formation in India. Rural sector can transfer labor and capital to the industrial sector, which can be effectively used to increase the productivity in the later. Okay, that means this agriculture can help, it can boost the capital formation when when we will work on the lands, when we will work on the agricultural lands, and we will give the this modern inputs, and then the capital formation would could be achieved. As this, India contributes 2.7% in the export of agricultural production in the world. Also, we know that India is the 10th largest nation in terms of export of agricultural products. Okay, dear students, the agriculture is also in the fourth biggest sector. It is the fourth biggest sector in export from India, as we export many things from India, like tea is exported, sugar is exported, spices are exported, these textiles are exported from India, fruits are exported from India, and basmati rice is also exporting from India. Agriculture is also a sector which provides a raw material for the industry, as we discussed. Okay, this provides raw material for cotton textile industry, jute industry, sugar cane industry, rubber and spices industry, etc. Also, other factor, that this agriculture makes a market or provides a market for industrial products, like this it provides market for equipments like tractors, harvesters, fertilizers, pesticides, weedicides, etc. Now, here you can see the contribution of agriculture to the national economy, employment and output. As we discussed that agriculture has been the backbone of Indian economy, though its share in the gross domestic product has registered a declining trend in from 1951 onwards. In 2010 and 11, about 52% of the total workforce was employed by the farm sector. This declining the share of agriculture in the GDP is the matter of serious concern, because any decline and stagnation in agriculture will lead to the decline in the other spheres of economy, having wider implication for the society. That means this has become the threatening, alarming situation for the Indian government, that what to do to increase the productivity, to again this decline, to do something that this decline should be diminished. For this, that we discussed in our this previous lecture, that the government established various institutions to modernize the Indian agriculture, to this increase the productivity from the from the agricultural land, from the farms, and to make people aware regarding the situation, regarding the different types of seeds, what type of seeds should be cultivated, what sort of fertilizer should be used, or they should be aware regarding the forecast, the weather conditions, or also like this. And there was establishment of Indian Council of Agricultural Research, ICAR, establishment of agricultural universities, establishment of veterinary services, animal breeding centers, horticultural developmental institutions, research and development in the field of meteorology and weather forecasts, etc. These were given the priority for providing Indian agriculture. Here, let us see, there are three major sectors which contribute in the Indian economy. Like we have primary, that is agriculture, secondary, that is industry, and then the tertiary, which is services sector. Here you can see this green line which is indicating agriculture, and you can see in 1950 it was 50, this 55. Then this graph shows that the agricultural line, the agricultural pace is decreasing, it is going down, it is showing the decline from 1950 to 2010. It is continuously decreasing. Here you can see the blue line which denotes or which shows industrial sector. Industrial sector is growing with a good pace, and then services sector, which is having the high intensity of increasing, or this increasing, having the increasing trend, which is shown by this yellow line. In 1950, you can say it was 30, and then it is continuously having the increase or increasing pace. Again, you can see this bar graph, which shows percentage contribution of various section to the GDP, which is the first bar is showing agriculture and allied sector, second is showing industry, and third is showing services sector. Here, 1950 and 51, you can say agriculture and allied sector was 51.9, and then this industry was only 11.1%, services sector were 34.6%. 1960 and 61, agriculture decreases to 47.6% from 51.9%. This industry grows, and it reached to 13.7% from 11.1%, and the service sector remains same, 36.6%. In 1970 to 71, again, agriculture decreases to 41.7% from 47.6%, and industry increases from 13 to 16. This services sector, again, it decreases a bit, but it was still 40.9%. You can see from 1980, 81, 1999 to 91, 2001 to 2000 to 2001, 2012 to 13. You can see it by your own, and then the recent one, it is 2014 and 15. This agriculture is only 17.0%, which was 1950 and 51, it was 51.9. Now it is only 17.1%. And this industry, which was 11% in 1950 and 51, it rose, and it reached 30.0%. And this services sector, the contribution of services sector in our GDP, it is 53.0%, which was 34.6%. Thank you, my dear students. This was all regarding this chapter. For the questions, please contact me. Thank you all.